Now, why should you consider using WordPress? Really, you should take a look at this chart here. This is the number of people using WordPress. So out of all the websites in the world, just over 30% are based on WordPress. And of all the websites in the world that use what's called a content management system, over 60% use WordPress, as opposed to something like Wix, where 0.9% use Wix, which you've probably heard of. The great thing about WordPress is it's free and it's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly well supported and a lot of people use it. If I bring up a live version of that graph, which you can see, it's at w3tex.com on their website. There's the live version as of today. So as I say, this top figure here represents the number of websites worldwide using WordPress, so it's just over 30%. And out of the CMS websites, content management system websites, round about 59, just under 60% are based on WordPress. And as I said, if you look at some of the other alternatives to WordPress, Joomla here, it's 3.1. This one here is 3.8, Squarespace 2.4, Shopify 2.3, so on and so. And Wix down here, less than 1%. People are voting with their feet, basically. They use WordPress, A, because it's easy, and B, because it's powerful, and C, because it's just so brilliant for SEO. With SEO and WordPress together, it's just a winning combination. So specifically WordPress and SEO, the great thing about WordPress is you've got all these plugins. You just simply install a plugin to do something or other and it just gets on and does it. So for instance, there is actually a whole load of SEO plugins you can use with WordPress. As we'll see later, something called SEO Yoast is a very popular version. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to create things like sitemaps, there's actually two types of sitemaps, what's called an HTML sitemap and an XML sitemap. Sounds complicated, but as we'll see, that's really easy. And there are plugins to create both of those for you. Something like caching, you might think, what on earth is that? It doesn't really matter what it is. The point is that caching will speed up your website. And the solution in WordPress, if you want caching enabled, is, as always, you install a plugin. Let's say you want to have integration between your social media and your website. Again, more plugins. If you want to, you can install what are called page builders, such as Divi, into WordPress. And what Divi does, I'll be producing a separate course on that in due course. What Divi does, it adds a whole new level to WordPress in terms of the ability to produce beautiful websites that are both beautiful and powerful. But I mean, this is just a quick list of some of the reasons why you should consider WordPress. I mean, I could have filled 3 pages easily with reasons why you'd want to do it. I'm not going to. Just take my word for it. I've been using I've been creating websites for 20 years. I've used all sorts of different packages over the years, and these days, whenever I create a new website, it's WordPress. It's a no-brainer. It's always WordPress now. It also means it's incredibly easy for my customers to take over the website once I've designed it for them, and they can just create new pages, new content, add bits and pieces as they want, create new posts, new blog posts, whatever they want to do. It's just so easy to do. So as I say, the second bullet point here, it basically means you can implement a whole load of advanced SEO features without any specialist technical knowledge. That's really the reason why you want to do it. And as the last point makes clear there, it's also free. WordPress is free. Obviously you have to pay for the domain name and the hosting, but these days that's cheap as chips. And what you're getting with WordPress is a really good system. If you're not using WordPress at the moment, if you've already got a website and you've realized the SEO is not that great and you want to start doing some serious SEO, something I'd really urge you to consider. I know it's a big job, it's a big ask, but before you do your SEO, I'd really urge you to consider converting your website from whatever it is, maybe a Wix site or something like that, convert it to WordPress before you start doing the SEO. And as you can see in the last bullet point there, unfortunately there is no magic software that will do this for you. You can't just feed a non-WordPress website into a magic piece of software and get WordPress out the other end. It has to be done manually. That is time consuming and it can be expensive, but the benefits of doing that will be enormous. I do actually offer a web conversion service. If you're interested, those are the details. You can contact me at info@cheltenhamgroup.com.au. As a rough guide, I would charge somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 Australian dollars. As it says over there in the red area, if you're outside Australia, the good news is the Australian dollar is not worth much these days. So 2,000 Australian dollars translates to a lot less than you might think. In fact, let's have a quick look. Now, this website, which you'll find at www.xe.com, is an excellent, well-respected site for basically converting currencies. So in this case, I'm saying I want to convert 2,000 from Australian to USD. So that's 2,000 Australian dollars. What is that in United States dollars? It's around about $1,400. Obviously, it goes up and down each day. If you want to convert that to, say, British pounds, you just do that. So 2,000 Australian dollars is round about 1,118 British pounds. Again, if you wanted it in euros, you could do that. Click there, and that would be the approximate euro price. You might actually want to consider having this on your website, this little currency converter. It's totally free. You can embed it in your website if you want to, and it won't give you an exact price, because the price that you get in real life is always slightly different, but it's not a bad little currency converter. So as I say, if you do want us to quote for converting your website to WordPress, just contact us there. Alternatively, in due course, I will be producing a course on how to do this yourself. It's not difficult, it's just very, very time consuming. Because again, you can do it quickly and, not very well, or you can do it properly. And, again, I would suggest if you are going to do this, do it properly. And while you're at it, build the SEO into the newly converted site.